Good afternoon, and today I have Cisa and Charlene on camera for me, and Cindy is also in the room with me as well. It is the eve of the eve today, of New Year's Eve, so coming into 2021. And I was reading Terry Hershey, who I follow, and he said that in a national survey this past week, and it's from the Washington Post, the top 3 words to describe 2020 are exhausting, lost, and chaotic. Wow. It's been a really heavy year, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, for many of us, for all of us in different ways. So coming into this next year, really being able to channel some light is important. And each of us have to be the light for someone else on any given day. So there may be a day that you're feeling really down, that you rely on someone else's light to pull you back up. He also quoted this story from Sue Monk Kidd, and she's an author. She wrote The Mermaid Chair, Secret Life of Bees, some things you may have read. And he was saying that she wrote a story about her daughter coming home from school one December and telling mom that she got one of these great parts in the nativity play. "What part did you get?" "I'm the Star of Bethlehem," the daughter says proudly. "Well, what will you do?" Sue asks. "I'll just stand there and shine." The little girl got it. At some point, from the Star of Bethlehem to adulthood, we have struck the light inside. So today, as we practice together, let's travel light, be the light, shine our light, live a little lighter. Begin to heel toe your feet in as wide as your hips, and extend the right leg straight up to the sky. Begin to point and flex those toes and just really wake up the sole of that right foot. And then strongly flex your foot. Press up and wrap your hands behind your hamstrings, if you can easily get them there. If not, just press up through your foot. And release your hands, bend your knee, place your right foot on the floor. And do the same thing with your left leg. Draw your left knee in, extend up through the sole of your foot, point and flex. And circle, get those pops and cracks out. Strongly flex your left foot and wrap your hands behind your leg. And slowly bring your foot back to the floor. Now fold the soles of your feet together, knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. And if you took that as your initial pose instead of constructive rest, notice how the second one feels a little different than the first. If this is your first Supta Baddha, notice how your hips are feeling in this moment, and whether you can relax those glutes and soften into the pose. Take one more breath in and out. Really relax as much as you can. And then draw your knees together again. Stack your knees above your hips and wrap your right leg over your left for eagle legs. So maybe you can wrap your toes behind the opposite calf, maybe not. Now you can leave your hands resting right next to your hips or open your arms to goalpost and take your left elbow under your right elbow. Give yourself a hug or wrap your arms for eagle arms, bringing your palms to touch. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, begin to draw your elbows and knees together. Really curl your belly button down towards your spine, and as you inhale, release your head and upper back again. Maybe tap your toes to the floor. As you exhale, draw your elbows and knees together again. And as you inhale, release and tap your toes to the floor in front of you. Maybe you can get your fingers above your head. As you exhale, curl in. And as you inhale, release in some way. And do that 2 more times, pacing your movement with your breath. And as you complete that last round, unwind your legs and your arms and give yourself a big hug. Congratulations, you made it through one side. Stack your knees above your hips again and take your left leg across your right leg. Maybe you can wrap your toes underneath your shin, maybe not. I can't, so it doesn't matter to me. Open your arms to goal pose or keep your hands next to your hips. Give yourself a big hug, left elbow under the, or right elbow under the left elbow this time. Maybe wrap to eagle arms as well. Take a breath here and curl elbows and knees together, dropping your belly button down to your spine. And as you inhale, lengthen. Release and maybe tapping fingers and toes above your head and down to the earth. Exhale, curl in. And inhale, release. Do that 3 more times, again, pacing movement to breath. And then unwind everything, and again, give yourself a big congratulatory hug. I made it through the core work for the day. I don't have to do anything else. You can either roll to one side or rock forward and back. We're moving towards table pose. Make sure you have blocks handy, as we will be moving into a gate, so you just need to make sure you have one handy. Come into table and extend your right leg straight back. Press into the ball of your foot and just wake up the sole of your foot. Extend your leg out of your hip now, so parallel to the floor. Curl in, knee to navel. Big cat stretch. And inhale, extend long. Just keeping your hands rooted and grounded. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. And one more time, curl in and lengthen it out. Extend your left hand and your right leg. Find bird dog. Find some balance. Bring your left hand down, turn your right toes out, and swing your leg out for gate. So hip is in line with the knee and the heel. And make sure you have a block all the way over on the left side where you can land your hand, because we're going to sweep to each side here. Yeah. Rise all the way up, float your arms above your shoulders, hip is above the knee, and get super wide, super bright. So from the heart to the hands, get really spacious. From the hip down through your knee, get grounded. Take a breath here and reach your right hand to your thigh. Left arm stretches up and over. As you inhale, sweep to the left. As you exhale, hand comes to the block, right arm up and over. As you inhale, sweep all the way over to the right, left arm up and over. Inhale, sweep to the left, right arm up and over. Pause and hold. Maybe lift that right leg away from the floor and get super bright in this half moon on the floor. So flex your foot, get really broad from the heart to the hands. One more breath. And release your foot, reach your arms up and above your shoulders again. Inhale, get really bright. Exhale, hands to the earth, table pose. Bring it all the way back down. Switching sides, press back into the ball of your left foot. And just wake up your foot. Lift your left leg in line with your hip, curl in, knee to navel. Big cat stretch. Inhale, send it back. And exhale, cat. Inhale, back. And one more time, find your cat back. Extend your leg, extend your right arm this time. Find balance in bird dog. Stretching equally long in 2 directions. Plant your right hand, turn your left toes out and swing your left leg out, preparing for gate. Make sure you have a block all the way over on your right side, just a place to land your hand if needed. Right hip over right knee, rise up, stretch your arms long, your heart wide open. Take a breath in here, and bring your left hand to your thigh, right arm up and over. Inhale to center, hand to the block or to the earth, left arm up and over. Inhale, coming back to center, take it to the first side. Stretch up and over. Come back to the second side, hand to the block or to the earth, hold. And maybe lift that left foot away from the floor, finding that balancing half moon on your knee. Get really broad and open from the hand on the earth to the hand to the heavens. Take one more breath. And release your foot. Come back to center and all the way up. Reach your arms up, heart up. Take a breath. And bring your hands down to the floor. Table pose, child's pose. Big toes kiss, knees narrow or wide. Or maybe puppy works better. Bring yourself back to table and step forward with your right foot. Grab your blocks, and we're going to stay super low in these lunges for now. So take your foot between your hands, right knee over right heel, and just stay low to the earth here. Maybe close your eyes. Give yourself this opportunity to notice sensations in your hips. Pick up the block in your right hand, bring it inside of your foot, heel toe your foot out one footprint, and pause there. Toes are still turned forward. Stay really heavy in your Anjaneyasana low lunge. Ooh, we have a little sunshine. That's kind of nice. You guys got brighter. We're channeling it. We're shining bright. Take one more breath here. Heel toe that right foot out one more footprint, and this time turn your toes out to the right. Keep your left hand on the block, right hand to your thigh, and turn your heart to the right. So just allowing this to evolve. Maybe you can uncurl the left toes if they're not already. Press into your toes. Maybe you can stretch the right hand back. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your jaw relaxed. Take one more breath here. And slowly bring your hand back to the block. Slowly heel toe your right foot back to center. Come back to table. And let this be a little wiggly, maybe some hip dips or some circles with your hips. Just work that out. And we'll take that low lunge to the second side. So hands on the blocks, left foot steps forward, knee is above the heel. Blocks are framing your foot for this first low lunge. And get settled. Soften into your breath. Maybe close your eyes. Pick up the block in your left hand and heel toe your left foot out one footprint. Toes are still turned forward. Again, stay heavy in your hips. Notice what you notice. Last time, heel toe that left foot out one more footprint. Turn your toes to the left. Keep your right hand on the block, left hand comes to your inner thigh or your knee for a gentle twist. Maybe you uncurl those right toes if they're not already. Maybe you peel that left arm open, stretching it towards the back of the mat. And keep your shoulders and your jaw soft. And take one more breath. Bring your hands back to the blocks. Pick up the block in the left hand, heel toe your foot back in, and again, come back to table. Take those hip dips or circles, or maybe even a child's pose. Despite the fact that that was only a low lunge, it was a big round of low lunge. Find your first dog pose now. So curl your toes, lift your hips. It can be a short dog. Explore, pedal it out. Let it be really wiggly and maybe a little sassy today. Getting your dancing hips, your salsa hips going for New Year's Eve, right? Because we're all going out dancing this year. And begin to either come up to your tiptoes, bend your knees to hop forward, or step forward. Forward fold. Lift up halfway and let it all go. Rise all the way up to stand. Lift your arms, lift your heart, reach up, and fold your hands to heart center. Inhale, wide arms, inhale all the way up. Through heart center, forward fold, bow in. Halfway lift, inhale, and let it go, exhale. Step yourself to plank. Your opportunity to flow through as you like. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, moving into downward facing dog once again. Extend your right leg. Keeping your leg long, just turn your toes slightly out to stack your right hip over your left. And then bend your knee. Get really bright through your right side, maybe even coming up on your right fingertips if that's possible. Create some space. Return the palm of your hand to the floor, extend your leg, and we'll step through into a warrior two. Open your arms nice and wide. Maybe turn your palms up for how wonderful arms, taking your gaze forward. Deep breath in, full breath out. Take your left hand to the back of the right waist for a half bind. Yeah, really relax that shoulder down. Reverse your warrior. Take the right hand up and back. Maybe gaze up, maybe gaze down, whatever's easier on your neck and shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and without resting your elbow on your thigh, hover it above your thigh, extended side angle. Palm is spread wide. Maybe keep the bind, maybe release it. And now either lightly tap your elbow on your thigh or bring your hand to the inside of your shin and hover your fingertips. Beautiful, extended side angle. Keep rolling those left ribs open. Get really bright now on the left side. Rise back up, warrior two. Stretch your right leg long, turn your right toes the same direction as the left toes. 5-pointed star. Turn your palms forward and lift your heart. Really broaden the chest all the way out through your fingertips. Take a breath in and reach your arms up to the sky through heart center, forward fold. Bow in. And shake your head no and yes. Bring your hands under your shoulders to lift your spine up halfway. And we're taking these teeny tiny side lunges, so just bend each knee a little bit and shift from side to side. So nothing deep, just starting to work into the hamstrings, maybe the groin area, inner thighs. Little bends to the left and to the right. The next time you bend your right knee, begin to turn your toes to the front of the mat and find a lunge. Keep that left knee lifted, frame your foot, and twist. Keep your left hand down, right arm reaches to the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. One more breath. Look to the earth, frame your foot, plank pose. Step back. You can either flow through or just come back to dog. Back bend of your choice. And we'll make our way all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take it to the other side. Left leg extends. Again, turn your toes first. Stay really long on your left side, then bend your knee. Maybe come up on your left fingertips and create a little more space in your left side. Return your palm to the floor, extend your leg and step through warrior two. Bring your back heel down, rise with your breath. Again, maybe flip your palms for how wonderful arms. Relax your shoulders. Hug into your middle, get really bright from your heart through your hands. And this time bring the back of the right hand to the left waist. Relax your right shoulder, soften it down, and reverse your warrior. Take your left hand up and back. Again, maybe gazing up towards the palm or the elbow, maybe down towards that back big toe. And take another breath in here. And again, rather than dumping into that elbow, just lightly hover that left elbow above your left thigh, finding extended side angle. Maybe keep the bind, maybe release the bind. And then allow those left fingertips to reach down towards the floor, or keep your elbow on your thigh as you find whatever your final expression of this pose might be. Rise back up, warrior two. Stretch your left leg long and turn your left toes the same direction as your right toes. This time interlace behind you if that's possible, otherwise heels of the hand on the sacrum, and bow forward, forward fold. Keep your knees soft, maybe shake your head out knowing yes as you arrive there. Release your bind, bring your hands under your shoulders and lift to a flat back. This time we'll go a little deeper in those side lunges. Turn your toes slightly out, so you're more in the goddess leg, and then begin to bend each knee, exploring more deeply the hamstrings and hips and groin. Maybe pop the opposite toes up, finding Skandasana. And take your time. Let this just be an exploration of the pose. So nowhere in particular that we're trying to go, just making some space. The next time you come up to the top of your mat, turn again for that lunge pose. So turning the left toes forward, pop up the right heel, right hand down, left arm rises, and take a twist. Beautiful. One more breath here. Bring your hand to the earth, step forward this time, forward bend, right foot meets the left. Halfway lift on your in-breath, and let it go on your exhale. Root to rise all the way up, shine your heart open, reach your arms up, and return your hands to your heart. Take a block on the outside of your right foot, bring it to the lowest level. Lift and spread your right toes, and begin to cross your left leg over your right, preparing for eagle pose. So place the ball of your left foot on the block, tuck your right knee behind your left, and snuggle in like you're in a one-legged chair. Now for some of you, you might be able to easily wrap your toes behind your calf. I can't do that, so I like using the block. And we're gonna move a little bit so it keeps me grounded. So snuggle into your eagle legs, goalpost your arms, take a breath here and bring your right elbow under your left for a hug or for eagle arms, bringing your hands together or hands to the wrist. Sit down into your eagle pose, take a breath in, and tap your elbows down to meet your knees. Really hug into your middle. Inhale, come back to center and pause right there. Maybe lifting up into the tiniest back bend and come back to center. Root into your right foot. Begin to extend your left leg back for warrior three. Now, if you want to let go of the bind, you can do that. And we'll just pause here for a moment. Beautiful. Step back lunge. Right knee over right heel. I know, that's hard, isn't it? Woo! Raise your arms all the way up, coming up into that lunge. Maybe the tiniest back bend. Take a breath here. Bow forward, thunderbolt. Extending long from the heel of that back foot all the way out through your fingertips. Nice. Now step the left foot to meet the right chair pose. Keep that long diagonal through your body. Hug your belly in, take a breath in. Bring your hands to prayer and bring your left elbow right into the middle of the right thigh. Yep. Press your palms, turn your heart towards your thumbs, and maybe open your arms to fly. Reach your left hand down, your right arm straight up. Beautiful. Work the actions of the legs, so maybe you can bring that left knee in line with the right, but maybe not. Maybe that's too much for your pelvis. Just pay attention. Take one more breath, and bring your hands to your heart. Unwind and stretch all the way up. Woohoo! You made it through one side. Get really bright and long. And bring your hands to your heart. Nice job. Just lift and spread your left toes and make sure you have a block on the outside of your left foot, probably to the lowest level. And begin to bring your right ball of the foot across to the left side. Snuggle your legs together for eagle. Open your arms to goal post, and the left elbow goes under the right this time, either for the hug or for eagle arms. Take a breath here and snuggle in a little deeper, get those hips a little lower, and then bring your elbows down to tap your knees. And bring yourself back up, maybe sweeping your elbows slightly up into a gentle back bend and coming back to center. Now we're sweeping the right leg back again for warrior three. If you want to keep the bind, do that. If not, let it go. Maybe even bringing your fingertips down. Hug into your middle. And take a breath. And then step it back to lunge, lightly landing those right toes. Reach your arms all the way up. Take a breath, maybe even a gentle back bend. And bow forward, thunderbolt, reaching long from the back heel to the fingertips. Take another breath here and lightly land your right foot next to your left for chair. Float your hands to your heart. Take a breath here and bring your right elbow to the center of your left thigh. Press your palms, turn your heart, maybe open your arms to fly. Getting bright from the center of the heart, out through your fingertips. Long breath in. Long breath out. Keep reaching your seat back. Return your hands to your heart. Turn your heart forward. Rise all the way up. Woohoo, you made it through the second side. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Woo! Heel toe your feet a little wider. Hang out here, maybe ragdoll. Soften your knees. Let your jaw go. Hands to the earth, step to plank. Make your way to dog pose. If you want to flow through, do that. If you don't, don't. Get yourself back to downward facing dog, however you like. So listening carefully to the instruction here, extend your right leg, three-legged dog. Draw your right knee into your chest and then step your right foot between your left hand and your left foot. Come onto the pinky edge of your right foot. Yeah. Keep squaring your chest forward, working that right hip back so you get a little into that IT band if you're really flexing out through that foot. Take a breath in here and then slide your right foot all the way over to the left, finding iron cross. Yeah, so come down onto that right hip. Turn your the left toes the same direction as your right heel. Yeah, so bring that right heel, the left heel down. Beautiful. Take a breath here. Keep shining your heart towards the front of the mat. You can stay up on your hands or maybe come down onto your forearms or forearms on the block and settle in. Continue to extend out strongly through the soles of both feet. Take one more breath where you are. And begin to work your way back up onto your hands. Hands as wide as your shoulders. Pressing down into the hands, press strongly into your feet. Curl your back toes down again. So turn those left toes to the floor. And by lifting your hips, you can then slide your right knee across your mat to pigeon. Yeah, that right heel can be close to the left frontal hip point. Maybe you can wiggle back through the left toes, balancing your hips as much as you can. If you need a blanket or a block underneath your right hip so you can maintain that balance and allow yourself to come to the floor, grab that block or that blanket and then bring yourself down. Now, if pigeon here doesn't work for you, maybe swan. Charlene is modeling a lovely swan pose, bringing your knee and heel in a more parallel line to the long edge of the mat. Settle into your breath. Maybe you can uncurl those back toes if that serves you. Maybe not. Take one more long breath in and out. And begin to work your way back up onto your hands. Curl those left toes. And begin to lift your hips up for three-legged dog or table. And find a pose of release for you. Maybe that's child. Coming back to down dog, extend your left leg. And take a breath here, and again, listening to my words, draw your knee to your navel. Take your left foot between your right hand and your right foot, pressing into the pinky edge of that foot. Keep your hands on the earth, keep squaring your hips. So imagine that you could draw the left waist back, even as you're extending your left foot to the right. Whew. And then we see smoke coming out of their IT bands as they slowly slide down towards the floor. Turn your right toes in the direction of your left heel. Nice. And then pressing strongly out into your feet, shine your heart forward as you come down for iron cross. Bring your forearms to the floor or to a block. Begin to work your way back up onto your hands. Hands in line with the shoulders, fingertips face forward. Turn those right toes towards the floor. And as you press into your hands and your toes, slightly lift your hips to drag that left knee across the mat for pigeon pose. And again, that left heel can be close to the frontal right hip point. Wiggle back long through that right leg, toes curled or uncurled. Make those adjustments so that you can keep the balance of the hips, whether it's a block or a blanket under your left hip, use that and bring yourself towards a pigeon pose. As we all know, sometimes it takes a little turning inward to restore, so that we can come back a little brighter. Take one more long breath in and out on this side. And begin to work your way back into that pose of release. Come back up to your hands, finding a three-legged table or a three-legged dog, working away, maybe child. Bring yourself to hands and knees, cross your ankles, and we're coming onto our backs, so grab a block. Bring yourself down to the earth in the center of your mat, finding supported bridge. Now, if you have a firm block, you can use the lowest or the middle level of the block. If you have a soft block, just use the lowest level of the block for now. Find supported bridge and settle in there. Keep the sole of your left foot grounded. Draw your right knee in and above the hip, and then extend the sole of your foot up to the sky. Flex and point your toes. And bend your knee and place your foot on the earth. Do the same thing with your left leg. Left knee bends and leg extends. Flex and point. Thought that was your joints. It's the wind. I was like, that's a lot of popping and cracking, but it's very windy out there today, so. Bend your knee, place the sole of your foot on the floor. Now, if you have a firm block, you can lift both legs. If you have a soft block, bring it down. And lift both legs into supported shoulder stand. Feet up in the air. Take another breath here. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. So you can stay here, or if your spine says yes, extend each leg long. So creating this long, full body arc in your body, allowing your ankles to just relax, maybe point your toes. Maybe hands next to your hips, maybe arms to a T or above your head. Just finding the shape, this last shape that serves you. Take one more long breath in and out. And slowly curl yourself back into bridge. Take a breath there and press down into your feet. As you remove the block, slowly come down, as slow as you can go. We've been there for a while. Give a gentle press with the heels of the hands into the base of each thigh. Extend your legs long again and reach your arms up, creating that big five-pointed star again. So maybe up at a V or maybe out to a T, and stretch all your limbs really long. And then relax. Finding a shape for Shavasana today, whether that's Supta Baddha Konasana or staying with a long full body, shape of an X for Shavasana, or maybe supported fish. Something that calls to you. Relax your jaw and the skin of your face. Settle into the rhythm of your breath, whatever that might be. Not doing anything to change it or adjust it. Allow yourself to notice. If you have additional time to spend in Shavasana today, I would invite you to do that and remain where you are. If you're moving on with your day, begin to make little movements or big movements that draw you out of your Shavasana and into the rest of your day. Begin to curl yourself onto your right side as you are ready. Enjoy this moment between the sweetness of practice and moving into the real world. Press down into the earth and make your way up to an easy seated pose. Sit well, head over your heart, over your hips. Draw your shoulders back. Let your heart shine bright. And draw your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Eyes closed or gazes at the earth. I'm the star of Bethlehem, she said. Well, what will you do? I just stand there and shine. As you move into 2021, may you be the light for so many people that need it. And may you give yourself the gift of taking time to turn inward too, to renew that light. Thanks to Sisa and Charlene for being my lovely models, and for Cindy for adding her energy to the practice today as well. In gratitude to each of you, the light in me truly honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.